Hi guys, welcome to Trip Around the Multiverse with your hosts, CY Chung and
Kyle Charles.
And today we're having a look at Marvel vs DC / DC versus Marvel, because depending on which issue, the 1996 series, 4-issue limited series.
Was it 1996?
Yeah.
Why do I keep thinking this earlier?
I think it's 94 for some
Same
reason.
here.
Well,
but then that's when Superman... that makes more...
Yeah. Okay.
Well,
So, basically... Okay, let's go through the story and then the matchups, right?
Yeah.
But the story is like... very contrived, right? Oh, how do you make a sentient, multi-dimensional humanoid being? And there's two of them. And yeah, this is the embodiment of the Marvel universe, and this is the embodiment of the DC universe.
Who are brothers.
Who had a battle before, and then
pretended they didn't know each other.
No. I think they had a battle that destroyed whatever the cosmos, and then they forgot about each other because of it, and then now because of certain crossovers, they had like a Spider-Man with Batman and
Superman, Hulk,
and Daredevil, and with all those crossovers, and then because of that they kind of realized the presence of one another.
Yeah.
And then,
even though we all know really it was both companies needs money, let's put a crossover together.
Exactly. So first of all, story wise, I'm gonna say this right straight up.
Yeah.
They came up with a reason why they wanted to have the characters fight, and I'm thinking to myself, at the time I was like, all right, fair enough, I kind of accept it. But if you're just gonna come up with a reason for the characters to fight, why don't you have a more better reason, or something that's less like, okay, it appeared out of nowhere simply for this.
Yeah, and then never mentioned ever again.
Yeah.
Like you, like as a kid, I was like, oh yeah, this is gonna be amazing.
Yeah.
And then with age, looking back, I'm like, you could tell there wasn't much planning to this. It was like, all right, like you said, we need to find out a weird way for them to come together. So then, if we can never reference it again. Oh, homeless person. He's the access to both worlds. Let's call him Access.
Yes.
Okay.
And then he has a sidekick.
Yeah.
That he's passing on the baton to.
Yeah.
That to be dubbed Access as well when the old man dies.
Yeah.
The homeless hobo, whatever they want to call him.
It's generic 90s writing as well, if you want to go that far.
And I tell you what is a bit awkward is they had Spider-Man here, it was Ben Reilly, but then because everyone in popular culture is Peter Parker.
Yeah.
So in the very first issue where he's swinging around as Spider-Man, he has to reference that he's Ben Reilly, known as Ben Reilly to some degree, and then later on when he's Daily Planet taking photos,
he pretends to be
the
Peter
brown,
Parker.
with brown hair, because he hadn't died at this point. He's like, all right, so I'm Ben Reilly, but my professional name is Peter Parker.
Yeah. What?
Right. Yeah. Okay. It's just you chose the wrong time to do this crossover in the middle of this. Not to say because it's just bad timing. They didn't know what's going to happen, but it's just when you look at it, you go, yeah, the awkward one.
It's like again, like why don't you just go? Like I'm pretty sure majority of people reading this comic this time were comic book fans, so they're gonna know the whole. He's Ben Reilly thing. Why are you thinking?
Why don't you just the people, the casual fans though? You could have just pretended it was Peter Parker and just let it be.
Yeah.
Because
it's not continuity. Yeah.
But they don't say this takes place at a definitive point.
Yeah.
So you could have just had it where Sensational Spider-Man issue 0 was at the point before he dyed his hair.
Yeah.
But just after he's got his costume.
Yeah.
Unless he dyed his hair before, but at that point you could just say whatever. It's slots
in. It's just slots in. You don't need to. Make it even more confusing by putting that in.
But to be fair, if it was a marketing ploy, you'd be like, all right, let's have a look at this guy. Let's go to casual fans. Let's go to the Spider-Man issues and find out exactly what the backstory is. And then they made more sales.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so back to the story.
The actual story.
Yeah. So where do we got to? Yeah. So
any other niggling things that you want to point out because from the actual story?
Except for the whole story.
Except for the actual whole story, yeah.
It's little things, but when we get to the matchups, it'll be more niggling.
Oh yeah, we might have to talk about the matches individually, which is why I'm leaving them till afterwards.
Yeah.
But the homeless hobo, the thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so they do at the end of the third issue, after the fights are finished, they do the amalgam crossover
Yeah.
because the cosmic entities of the Living Tribunal and the Spectre are trying to hold the universes together, while the
Yeah.
brothers, the Sentient whatevers, are fighting each other.
Yeah.
I did like it that they made the amalgam universe.
Yeah. But.
But they had a good mix of.
Yeah.
They mixed the characters up well.
Yeah, even though some characters are kind of contradict the other characters.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
Bruce Wayne, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D.
yeah, and Logan Wayne. It's like,
yeah.
isn't that
Darkglaw.
one person?
But it had Super Soldier,
Yeah.
which was Captain America and Superman mixed together.
Yeah.
Spider-Boy,
which is weird when you think about it, as Ben Reilly is a full-grown man and Superboy is a boy.
Yeah. But Pete Ross is Spider-Boy as well.
Yeah, I'm saying, so that makes it like.
Alright,
So
I tell you what as well.
that one person.
I tell you what is kind of funny. The only amalgam comic that actually had anything to do with this story was Doctor Strange Fate.
Yeah.
Doctor Strange, Doctor Fate, and Charles Xavier was the guy behind the mask. but he was trying to. Actors was in the comic, and Strange Fate was trying to keep that amalgam universe alive. It was like, okay, all right, but everyone else is like as though their story is taking place outside of this because they know something's going on. But what's cool is they pretend, the writers, pretend that these are ongoing series that have been happening. So we get a letters column referencing back stuff that never did
happened,
happen,
but pretend. Yeah.
I thought it was pretty cool.
I did like Sparrow. Oh, but that's a good little.
Yeah.
But male and female fusion get a bit weird. But yeah.
No, it was just Jubilee as Robin.
Yeah. But yeah, good point. You don't need to be. Yeah, that makes sense now. Yeah, that makes sense.
But I tell you, the one that did get me was quite funny was, so Nightwing and Moon Knight mixed together, right? They were called Moonwing. It was like, I'm not sure how much sense that makes, but you can't mix it the other way around where it's Night because that's even worse. Like that makes even less sense.
Just call him Nightwing. You know what I mean? Or you just spell night different or something like.
The night of the Moon Knight.
Yeah, so you like get around like that.
That make more sense.
Yeah. But
there's probably not enough overt mix of Moon Knight in there to make it obvious. They did Bullets and Bracelets, which was Wonder Woman who was an Amazon or something. I'm not sure exactly.
Yeah.
Because I didn't collect that issue, but it's like Steve Trevor was the Punisher or something. But they were like together. And Storm was Amazon.
Yeah.
Storm and Wonder Woman was Amazon, so they had the powers of the weather and all the Wonder Woman traits.
Yeah.
So I think Diana here, Bullets and Bracelets, had a depowered version, like the standard Amazonian version, not the demigoddess, whatever.
For some reason I thought she was mixed with Elektra. I don't know why.
No, Elektra was mixed with. Okay, so they had their comic called Assassins.
Yeah.
And Elektra was mixed with. It was Cat's Eye and Dare. That was in it. So I can't remember. I know one of them was mixed with Matt Murdock.
Yeah.
With Cat's Eye. No, Cat's Eye is Elektra and Catwoman, I think.
Yeah.
And Dare is that Deathstroke and Daredevil? No, it was a female on Daredevil, but I can't remember who it was. However, they were fighting the big question, which was the Kingpin and the Riddler. I was like, okay, fair enough.
That makes sense. I like that a lot. That's cool. I did like Hyena as well.
Oh yeah, Hyena, the Joker and Sabretooth.
That makes a good one. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Who was Green Lantern with? Silver Surfer, in it?
No. No. It's Green Lantern was with Fire.
That's it.
And they I think they were just called Fire.
Oh.
No, because she was called Frankie Rayner.
Yeah.
She had the Green Lantern ring, which helped to turn fire.
So she's basically Fire from Justice League.
Yeah, exactly. And the Incredible Sulk.
Yeah.
It's Solomon Grundy and Hulk mix, and I was like, okay, you're alright.
Lazy, but okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Any notable amalgam characters that you think of, or have we just covered all the ones that I want to say relevant, but kind of like?
I loosely remember the X-Men one.
Which one was that?
Wasn't there an X-Men team where they mixed up with? I can't remember
what it was called.
I'm saying I loosely remember because I can't. They didn't really do much of it.
Yeah. Because
Scott Summers was mixed with the Ray. Because I remember the jacket, and then they basically kind of made the Ultimate costume out of that.
I'd like to say Challenges of the X. No.
I think it might be Challenge of the X or something like that. Something weird.
X of the Unknown probably sounds more sensible, but we'll just leave it be. Because I can't offhand recall what it is. But I'll tell you what's funny, because did you read the collected edition or the main issues?
I got the collected edition.
Alright, so I had the actual limited edition books.
Yeah.
And at some point, there's an advert, right? I think just after the end of issue 2 or something like that.
Yeah.
And it's got the Kingdom Come. But what it has is Bat, because of Batman, and the American Eagle. And I was like, right, this is advertising Batman versus Captain America? Or is there something else I don't know at the time?
Yeah.
Clearly it was just doing Kingdom Come, which is like the Superman's the American. But it's just like the American Eagle and the Bat in this issue where an American guy dressed in an American flag fighting a guy dressed as the Bat. I was like, well, okay.
Well, okay, huh?
Unless they timed it perfectly, you know, like, let's put this right in here, right after this point.
Confuse people, get them to buy it.
Yeah.
So I think there's no other characters that really stood out for that.
For the actual issues.
Yep.
Now, there was Darkseid and Thanos. They had a little skirmish. You would have thought they would do more of them, but they only do so much. However, I tell you what, it's kind of funny. The way I looked at it, because we'll go back to winners and losers in it, but okay, the first 5 battles it was a popularity vote, and the second 6
was written by the writers, isn't it? Yeah.
But the losers from these certain bouts had a team up against Thanos to fight. So certain members, there was about 3 of them, and the winners fought Darkseid. So, like, are you trying to say within this comic that because the losers are fighting this guy, he would have lost because the winners are fighting the other guy?
Yeah.
I think that's what they were trying to say. But
Thanos is a subpar version of Darkseid.
and he actually points out because you pay imitation of
you're like, it's true because they copied him, but Darkseid forever.
Okay, right. So, did you read Access? Full Access? No, All Access and Full Access. Limited Access is the other one.
No, I didn't.
There's just a couple of things with at the tail of this.
Yeah.
Where Access went about doing some stuff, having girlfriends in different universes.
As you do, yeah.
yeah. But it's not as simple as that. But
yeah.
But he did come across them, and they did have an interesting mix because at the end of All Access, I think.
Yeah.
It's them Justice League fighting the X-Men, and I'm like, why didn't the Justice League simply fight the Avengers, right?
Which makes more sense. But I guess at that time, X-Men were more popular than the Avengers.
No, I think what it was because they want to do their Avengers Justice League crossover.
Yeah,
and they just kept back certain things they didn't want to use.
Yeah, makes sense.
But in the Unlimited Access, they did have the Justice League crossover with the Avengers, have a little fisticuffs because Darkseid's minions are like whatever.
Yeah.
But they chose the Justice League Year 1 version. Did you ever read that series?
Yeah, that's with isn't that with why I say Hawkman? I don't say Hawkeye. That's with Flash, Aquaman, Green Lantern, Martian Manhunter, and Black Canary, no?
Yeah. So I was like, okay, so what they did was remove the big 3 of the Justice League.
Yeah.
So then they could save the crossover for later on. It kind of made sense. Okay, fair enough. Well, because in Full Access, Unlimited Access, so you went up and down across time as well. Because you met Jonah Hex and some classic versions of the characters and stuff like Daredevil was in his yellow suit. Hal Jordan was in, like you were saying, in the Justice League at that time. It was Barry Allen as well.
Yeah. So
they were just saving their key people for a specific thing.
Well, because at that time it was Wally West's Flash, isn't it? So so that makes sense. Yeah.
Also, that was a strange battle. Superman was having a trouble fighting Venom, and Spider-Man came to help him. I'm like, Superman, you got heat vision first of all.
Yeah.
Why don't you use that?
And Venom's not magic.
yeah. But he was having enough problems where Spider-Man and Superman were fighting Venom, and Access came with a sonic ray or whatever to put Venom. And I'm like, first of all, Superman, you can probably punch his head off.
Yeah, and this is when Venom wasn't as strong as he is now. So I don't. That makes no logical sense.
And Superman had to tussle with the Juggernaut. This was just during the main series.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't have a tussle, but he put him down with one punch, and then he put him down. And he fell on his back with one punch. Didn't knock him out. Like that. But there were actually some cool mixes within the main comics that Bane and Captain America was like, okay, Super Soldier makes sense.
Yeah.
The fact that Bane got knocked out, okay, fine. But they put it in a way that the shield hit him from behind.
Yeah, so he didn't see it
it
coming. Yeah, I like that. I was like, that's a clever way of doing it. Because I remember reading, I was like, I don't remember this. I was like, he doesn't break his back, obviously. I was like,
No. You didn't lift him up for it. He goes, you threw away your only advantage, stranger. Now you've left yourself with a backbreaker maneuver, or whatever. And then when the shield hits him and knocks him out from back, and Captain America put his shield back on, and he goes, "No more back chat from you." Yeah. All right, okay. You tell him, Cap.
Then after that, that's when Nightwing sees. Who does he fight?
Gambit
and he sees Wolverine and Killer Croc fighting.
Oh yes, and then. So here's the funny thing is that as you point that out, right? So Wolverine and Killer Croc fighting, and then Gambit, and I think Gambit is underneath or something. Now we notice that, and Gambit's behind him.
Yeah.
Then later on, Batman's tracking the Lizard.
Yeah.
Right. And then and then he gets distracted by something else, and he notes that Nightwing and Gambit fighting. Behind him. It's like, wait a minute, if you've been tracking that guy there, and there's a fight legit.
Yeah. How did you not know? Yeah.
It makes no sense.
And Batman, I sort of know. I don't know if he would go and help Nightwing. Like, Nightwing's capable of this, you know. Yeah.
But I mean, I found out the point as well. The Lizard wasn't really doing anything. It was
just standing there.
So
just standing there.
It is like, okay, what are you going to do with a guy who's not? Don't antagonize this thing.
It's one of those things like, why didn't you put Lizard in this anyway? If he's
standing but I did like so Bullseye appeared in the Batcave, held Robin hostage, and just like, okay, first of all, he's Bullseye, right?
Yeah.
So how's he going to miss? All I could say was like, they just wrote him to miss, and that was that. But logically speaking, they say if he aimed for the cape, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
you move faster than Daredevil. Like, but Daredevil here has got radar sense. He can sense where the projectile might be going before you actually launch it, which gives him time to duck it, right?
Yeah.
But Batman.
It's Batman. That's
okay.
Yeah, the dumb reason for it is Batman.
To be fair, let's just say it's in the cave and it's kind of dark. It might not, he's playing each other. Whatever. That's all I can say. They did have some cool mixes there.
Yeah.
Of people antagonizing other people, but nothing.
Yeah, I thought it was funny that Gambit and Wolverine stole the Batmobile to drive back to New York. I'm like, okay. You never know where New York is at this point because you're in Gotham. You know if it's around the corner or like 7 states over. But alright, makes sense, I guess. Cool.
Alright, okay. I'll tell you what. Let's go through the matches because then they've got talking points as well, and then maybe we'll.
Before we move to matches, though, the one little thing I liked, everyone didn't fight. Like when Robin, this is problematic, appears in Jubilee's bedroom and just talks. Like, how are you doing?
It makes sense. But the thing is, I just say some of these fights, I wouldn't have been there myself because they're either completely one-sided or they're just popular characters, but they've got no counterpart for them to have a bout with. We'll talk about when we're talking about the actual fights.
Yeah.
And then any replacement fights you would have had instead of these certain ones.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go to. Do you want to do the popularity contest ones or the actual edited ones?
I don't know which is which, so we'll do. Say which ones they are, then I'll go through it.
Okay. So we'll just do the ones that the writers and editors, whoever, selected first, because then we can say logically speaking. Right? Catwoman versus Elektra. So Elektra won this, and logically speaking,
makes sense.
Yeah. Would I've had this bout in the first place? Probably not.
No, because to me it seems like a random pairing to put together. Like, okay.
Captain Marvel and Thor. Now, it makes sense. Thor won because he's somehow faster than lightning. So, Captain Marvel, Shazam, he got buried beneath a Ferris wheel of some sort, and he decides he can't get from the gaps, and he changes into Billy Batson. Then when he worms out, he calls Shazam to turn back to Captain Marvel. So Thor throws his hammer before the lightning hits him, and he causes a knockout for both of them, right? Captain Marvel, but they're both kind of separate, but Thor's more conscious.
Yeah.
It's like, right, hold on a second. Just a second. You should be strong enough to just push away that Ferris wheel. I don't know why you had to change.
Yeah, that's I was like, that makes sense.
How many of these battles would many of us will notice how they're not clean wins because you want to protect them by wrestling shenanigans. This is one of those ways, like, you could have just had a clean victory and no one would have looked bad in it.
No, if he just knocked him out legitly, well, okay, cool, that makes sense. Not shenanigans like, he's got the strength of
Hercules
but
and the
he can't.
invincibility of Zeus or whatever.
And they keep referencing like everyone knows he's like near level strength of Superman.
Yeah.
So how's the Ferris wheel gonna stop?
Yeah.
Captain
I
Marvel?
can't be pinned for just a second or something.
Yeah.
But it's like, no, you could have either caught that Ferris wheel, or you could have blasted through the Ferris wheel, as in fly right through, or you could just wrenched it off you after.
Yeah, it made no logic.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jubilee versus Robin. Robin won because he's
Robin.
smart.
Yeah, he's smart.
I think
Jubilee
he
just
tricked her with his cape somewhere else and him being another place.
he was using the dark to his advantage. Which makes sense.
It's just that his skill set is too far beyond hers. Even
Yeah.
though Tim Drake only been around a certain amount of time,
About
but the
4
people were very. Logically speaking, he's only in this because he's Robin, but not because he's Tim Drake.
Yeah.
Because Robin's a character known from.
This is before they sort of had their own more individual identities.
But it's Well, how was he gonna ever lose to Jubilee?
Yeah. Jubilee's still X-Men in training.
Yeah. It's also because they're two kind of psychic characters to gruff loners, and but it doesn't make sense as a logical pairing.
No.
Aquaman versus Neymar. This is where Aquaman won because he dropped a whale on top of Neymar. Logically speaking, like, fair enough. I can get it. I can get behind this mirror match, or essentially what it is.
Yeah.
Neymar's power set though, he's much higher in ability than Aquaman.
Yeah.
No Aquaman now, because Aquaman now can punch Superman and take hits from high level.
Well, I reckon.
But
now,
back then.
Yeah, back then. If it was now, I think it would be a better fight because they're both stupidly, ridiculously strong now.
Yeah.
But like then, I was like, oh, so he was gonna drop a whale on Neymar. I'm pretty sure Neymar's strong enough to pick that whale up.
Yeah.
But okay.
If Neymar can take punches from the Hulk,
yeah, exactly.
he can probably take a whale falling on him.
Yeah, he's like, oh.
And the pressure of the water down in wherever it is. But I wouldn't mind, like, okay, Aquaman won with shenanigans. Now, I don't mind if he won with shenanigans in something that made sense, but dropping a whale on Neymar doesn't make sense.
If he dropped like an oil tanker on him and it exploded, I would have bought that more. Oh wow, that
he lured him in there. He didn't fight him directly because he's like, okay, this guy's too strong for me or whatever. Fair enough.
But a whale.
Sorry, I mean, they had time to come up with a solution for this, but they just chose one that is like, okay, this is a bit wacky, you know, like.
That's the only heads up really that Aquaman has on Neymar.
I mean, the power sets are not complete. They're similar but different because he's got more abilities. If he's they're fighting in the sea and he gets the sea animals to worm into Neymar's way so he can take pot shots. Fair enough. Well, maybe one of the fish to poison Neymar. Maybe going to get piranhas to chase him or whatever. Just something. Just use your ability, the abilities the other guy doesn't have to your advantage.
Yeah. Not just at the end.
Flash versus Quicksilver.
Pointless.
Yeah, because
I get it why he did it, but when you throw in like he has a speed force.
Well, yeah, and you know what's funny? At the back of it, when it puts the statistics, so you know the matchup, they had Quicksilver. The highest speed he can go to is the speed of sound. Flash can run at the speed of light.
Yeah.
Like, okay, well, who's gonna blatantly win this? No, I have to see. Being a Marvel fan back in those days, I just blatantly said, "Oh, Marvel should have won every one of these."
Yeah,
but then when you think about it like that, it is a popularity contest.
Yeah.
There's no logic behind any of this. It's just because I'm a fan of that side. But that's years ago. Ignore like stuff my past self.
Yeah.
Slap him across and go. No, use logic. Don't use that. Don't use the popularity.
But I think as a kid, because I barely knew who Quicksilver was, because I didn't really know about the Avengers. So I was all like, yeah, Flash should win. Flash is great. He has a TV show, sort of. So yeah. But yeah, it was the point. I get the reason why they had the fight. Yeah. But
I think personally they shouldn't have had it in the first place because that Flash's power is so far beyond Quicksilver.
Yeah.
It'll put Green Lantern and Silver Surfer. Now this is an odd match for me because they had a little crossover before this.
Really?
I can't remember the title of it now, but they had it was Parallax and Thanos.
Yeah. And
they were having their shenanigans. Parallax crossed over universes and he to find Cyborg Superman, and he teamed up with Silver Surfer to use the power to absorb the power cosmic. Like, oh, I can remake the world. While Green Lantern was manipulated, to fight Tarax.
Yeah.
And then Thanos helped him, and he said, "Look, I helped you. If you help me, there's a rift where Oa was when you caused the explosion in your fight with Parallax. If you give him the power, I can fix all these problems.
Yeah.
Except then once he has the power, he's like, I'm going to destroy everything for Lady
Yeah.
Death, and then Paradox comes across and goes, look, I have the power cosmic, can fix everything. And it was quite a neat issue because it worked within the characters. And you would have thought this, because it was the same writer, that Ron Martz wrote this and wrote this crossover. Why didn't you just use some strings along with that? Because you've got a guy trying to destroy the universe, whatever, and a guy trying to fix everything. You could have used that as part of your Marvel vs. DC crossover.
Yeah.
Especially since at the end of that issue was that box then shining light in the alleyway, which then is all access.
Yeah. Well, I said they.
But this Green Lantern vs. Silver Surfer didn't really make sense to me as a matchup. Silver Surfer won here, but they just charged at each other essentially.
Yeah. Then basically,
to be fair, to be fair, you only have a certain amount of pages for these fights, so that's one issue. But the other thing is just like that. Even their power sets kind of are
not similar whatsoever.
Yeah.
Like
they're cosmic being. Oh well, one's cosmic being, the other one's powered by cosmic.
Yeah, but
weapon.
They do two different things.
Yeah.
Well, it's not like their jobs are the same or anything like that. But,
they're protective of their universes, in their particular universes. But it is an awkward one because I want to place this match with something else, but we'll get to
same.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now that's what the. Do you agree with some of these editorial decisions?
Yeah.
I mean, Catwoman, Elektra, what makes sense to me. Thor makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Robin does make sense to me against Jubilee. Aquaman, not the way that he did win it, but you could have had him or Neymar win it, and I wouldn't have.
Yeah, but that one, I'm like,
depends on how you wrote it, but
yeah,
it's a 50-50.
Yeah.
Green Lantern vs. Silver Surfer, I suppose Silver Surfer, because you could say Green Lantern only was around for like
2 years at that point.
Yeah, exactly.
And he didn't. This is when he wasn't Ion or whatever, so he wasn't as powerful as he could be.
But it just matchup doesn't make sense. But I don't disagree with the winner.
Winner makes sense, but the matchup makes no sense.
Yeah. Okay. Now to the popularity contest ones. Hulk vs. Superman. This is Professor / Smart Hulk.
Yeah.
Superman won by vote. What do you think of this match?
Match on paper.
Yeah.
Sounds good, but then when you take in that he's only Banner Hulk, like Professor Hulk, he's not the strongest he could be.
Yeah.
So that kind of like handicaps the Hulk already.
Yeah.
Rather than if it was, say, Worldbreaker Hulk or whatever.
Savage Hulk at the time, right?
Then, I personally think it would have went different. Because...
Yeah, it would have been more even, let's put it that way. Yeah.
I still think Hulk would have won, but...
No. Not... Okay. You would have... If you were ranking, you would have put Hulk win, yeah? Savage Hulk win, yeah? But as a popularity contest...
it makes sense because Superman. Everyone in the world knows who Superman is.
Yeah.
Hulk, at that point, again, he wasn't... He was well known, but he wasn't the icon he is now.
Now, as you're saying, you would have voted the Hulk to win?
Yeah. But
Savage Hulk
then, because I'm a Marvel fanboy.
Well, now would you have still have a Hulk win?
I don't know. Now, as I've grown mature and I appreciate Superman, I would probably have to say Superman.
Now, logically speaking, I would also say Superman because if he's got more diverse power set. The thing is, logic as well, he could grab Hulk, they fly up into space.
Yeah.
Hulk will run out of breath before Superman does, and that's that.
Yeah.
I mean, he doesn't have to knock him out or anything, but he's unconscious at that point.
Yeah.
Because Superman can breathe in space to a certain degree.
Yeah. Hulk can hold his breath for half an hour, I think. I don't know.
Half an hour in space.
I might have made that up.
Oh, no, but even if
but
that's the case,
Superman's still...
you're gonna fight in space holding your breath. That's still gonna be something. Logically speaking, I'd have Superman win. And I can see popularity contest Superman winning as well.
Yeah.
It just makes more sense.
Yeah.
Though people, I think that the whole point of this match is like, who's stronger rather than who's more popular or who can win logically.
Yeah.
Because Hulk compared to Superman, he can't.
I reckon if it
Savage Hulk maybe. Like you said,
if it was like a.
It may be tighter, but I still don't think Superman would have lost to Hulk.
If it was like an arm wrestling match,
yes.
I reckon Hulk would win.
Or them where you do the punching bag to see how strong you are.
Hulk would win that. Yeah.
But it's not.
It's not.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, Superman's got more abilities and that. So he would.
Okay, Superboy versus Spider-Man. Now I'm not sure if people are confused as to because this is Connor Kent's Superboy, who only made an appearance 2 to 3 years before this. Yeah. And they might have thought this was Superman when he was a boy, because that was the most popular version of Superman at the time, Superboy at the time, because that's what they were pumping out as material.
Yeah.
And this was clone Spider-Man as well, Ben Reilly.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, to be fair, experience-wise, they're probably equal.
Yeah, but I say they're both literally about 2 years old at this point, comic-wise. Yeah.
I will say this: the win makes sense in the way that Superboy's got tactile telekinesis, and they showed in his issue. If he's not concentrating, his vulnerability is more about his concentration. So if he doesn't see it coming, it's off.
Yeah, he hasn't got the force all around him.
So when he got so when he fought Spider-Man, he got impact weapon, and then he's blinded, and then he goes to the electrical box. Fair enough.
Yeah,
I kind of accept that, but you don't explain in the issue that his invulnerability is mentally based.
Yeah,
it's just that he got hit by an electrical box and he went down. And you think, but Superman doesn't.
Yeah, they don't really explain in this comic his powers. So you're like, wait, what? I thought he just had the same powers as Superman. But
just lower tier.
Yeah.
But when you think about how scaled down they are, Spider-Man is actually a decent matchup because he holds back all the time when he's fighting people.
Yeah.
So you're like, okay, what's the maximum visibility? You don't actually know.
Yeah.
But he probably can keep up with Superboy because he's got a superior mindset of how to get out of these situations, and he's got weapons like webs and stuff like that. So I accept this match.
Yeah, I accept it. I was like, that makes sense. Plus, I like
the win as well. Kind of made sense in the context of the battle.
Yeah, I like the whole clone versus clone talk.
Yeah, you're clone too.
Yeah. Oh wow. We should stop fighting and talk.
Yeah. Wonder Woman versus Storm. This is the most complete BS match I've ever. Oh. 2 lightning strikes. So basically, Wonder Woman kicks her in the back of the head at one point, and then Storm blasts her Wonder Woman with lightning twice. I'm like, right, but Wonder Woman can fight Superman. I don't know if she fought him at this point in the comics, but if she's taking punches from Mongol as well.
This is one where they got put into a corner of their eyes because obviously Storm won the popularity vote. Obviously, because. Storm at this time obviously was bigger than Wonder Woman because X-Men now.
Yeah.
So they had to think. They're like, how could we legit make this work? Even though you can't because, like you're saying,
the power of a demigod, right? She's still the daughter of Zeus at this point. I think they retconned her continuity too.
And Storm, she has
the clay that was brought to life by that Zeus, right?
Yeah, but Storm's a mutant.
Yeah,
she's got not lightning power, but control weather and that stuff. But I'm pretty sure she doesn't have superhuman strength or anything like that.
Yeah.
So, like you said, when she got kicked in the back of the head by Wonder Woman, it should be game over then. You know what I mean? But no.
Yeah.
And the lightning bolt thing just reminded me of Titan season 2 with Donna Troy.
Yeah.
Like how the whole season gone, hey, she's pretty much invincible, and then she gets killed by electricity.
Yeah.
What?
What's that about?
What? Okay.
All right. Unless Greek Amazons have weakness to lightning that we don't know about, but
because they don't have lightning on they don't have electricity on their island, so they. It makes no sense. And it's like there's been better ways for this. Wonder Woman should have won. But
I have a match they should have had instead of this, but we'll get to that afterwards. But this pairing should never have happened.
No.
Especially like you say, X-Men was so popular, so you would be like, I following the next match as well, just as bad. But you should never have done this way.
No.
Wolverine versus Lobo.
Yeah.
Like today, it's just as bad as the previous match. With Wolverine one, it's like first of all he's got his bone claws here, not even his adamantium claws, and Lobo's fought Superman for goodness sake. So. Wolverine, how exactly? I think I read the writers were like, we don't know how.
Yeah,
how
then he went off panel sort of thing. Yeah.
So they were fighting, tumbling behind the
bar, and then it just shows like a comic book effects, whatever it is, and then it's Wolverine just walks out with a cigarette.
Yeah, and then in the Lobo comic they cover it by saying Wolverine paid him off. Yeah, they didn't say specifically Wolverine paid him off. They're like, he got paid off underneath the bar to take a dive, which makes sense. Yeah. But they should have just
done it there and then.
Referenced it or something like that, because he is a mercenary bounty hunter, whatever. It'd be like, okay, that kind of makes sense. It'd be like, all right, I'll just stay. You pay me, I'll just stay down. Yeah. But like you say, this one was they went themselves in the corner, and it's just like not stupidity ensues, but. You can't. You should never have done it if you didn't work out a way that you were going to resolve it logically beforehand.
Yeah. It's like, and this is when they both wasn't superly omega powered as they are now, and where like Lobo can regenerate from a speck of blood.
Yeah.
And Wolverine can survive nukes.
Yeah. Well, have his adamantium skeleton standing in that wasteland until it turns him back into human after 3 panels. Okay.
Dumb fight. Yeah.
Batman versus Captain America. Batman 1, this could have went 50-50 for me, so it would matter. This is what I always say. Physically, if you're comparing them, Captain America's going to be superior in every category because he's artificially enhanced to that point.
Yeah.
Minorly superior, but still nonetheless.
Yeah.
But if it comes like to mentality, like strategy or cunning or gadgets, all that stuff, Batman's going to come out on top. So as long as he spams his gadgets and uses shenanigans, he could come out ahead. That way, Batman. But it kind of is, it doesn't matter which way it goes because they both could legit win. Yeah,
even they say that. They could keep fighting for hours.
But but this was so they're fighting the sewers and they're aiming to throw their weapons at each other like a batarang and the shield, and the sewer flushes out to knock them all across as well. So Captain America misses because of that water wave, and he's just like, that's a bit of a cheap way to do a loss of guys that are equal.
I actually like that. I was like, it's going back to sort of wrestling sort of thing. Like Batman won by default really because Captain America was drowning and then so technically he was knocked out and so Batman saved him. So it's like, okay, cool, Batman didn't physically beat himself but he did beat him because of circumstance. So I was like, okay, I can buy that. But I would have just liked it a bit cleaner. But if for example you put in the comment that Batman was like, alright, if I time the sewer to come out at this point, then you're like, okay, he won by strategy and that's fine. But he's just like, it came out and he won by luck. I prefer that though, because like I said before, I like Batman.
Well, to be fair, it's a popularity contest. It didn't matter what way the writers could have come up with.
It would have had to be that way anyway. But like, I'm just kind of happy it was that way because rather than like, I like Batman, like I said before, but my whole thing is that he plans for everything, sort of thing. Kind of get. I'm sort of tired of that. Like,
no, but if they'd been fighting for the sewers of the hour, he could probably work out. Okay, this sewer comes at this point, and then we time it.
Another thing that, like I said, I don't like about Batman. That's when people write Batman, like he's I like
but like we were saying before, it's a 50-50 either way, so it's not like it's a huge issue. I prefer cleaner wins if you're going to do that situation. I can understand shenanigans, but that's like protecting your characters from losses that maybe you don't need to.
This is a crossover. It's never going to be referenced ever again, so who does it matter?
But I think each company's like, okay, so we can't have our character do X, Y, and Z just in case, because we still got to sell it afterwards as well.
But it's not like if, say, Batman lost, that no one's going to buy Batman comics anymore. You know what I mean?
Okay, so do you want to say what kind of matchups you would have had instead?
Yes, but some of mine are a bit like if it was written now sort of thing.
Okay, I'll take into account if it was written at the time, but we'll converse anyway. So let's okay, so who do you have give me the battle and we'll discuss.
Alright. If it was
and then we can discuss whether a popularity vote or how we would have booked it.
Alright, the first one I sort of had, because it's so obvious. Deadpool versus Deathstroke.
Okay.
But not both those characters then, because Deadpool then was.
Well, here's the thing. Let me. I had a similar one, and mine probably makes more sense for the time. Was, right? Wolverine and Deathstroke. If you're going to do that, Wolverine. I think that makes more sense. Like you're saying, Deadpool is not as popular. Or much developed as a character.
He's not what he's now.
It was too early in that time to do that. But Wolverine vs Deathstroke would have made more sense if you're going to have a guy that are human but superhuman, with regenerative healing factors and are willing to fight to the death. I think that would have made more sense. Than Wolverine fighting Lobo. But then again, it's a popularity contest, so I would assume. How would you have booked it, and how would you think it would come out popularity contest wise?
Wolverine Deathstroke.
I
think then, obviously, again, Wolverine would have won because Wolverine. X-Men was the bee's knees back then. But I would have had them fight like in a, not in a bottle like Lobo one, be in a, not a jungle, can be more predator. Like in a abandoned warehouse
Yeah.
where most of these fights always happen.
Yep.
And they'll just fight for hours and hours and hours to a point where they sort of realise, okay, alright, I can only really hurt... Deathstroke be like, I can only really hurt this guy with like explosives.
Yeah.
Because I just keep hacking at him and he's coming back.
Yeah.
And then he'll keep blowing him up and Wolverine's get annoyed, like, okay, stab him in the face
Yeah.
with his claws. Because I'm pretty sure if you take off Deathstroke's head, he's done.
Yeah. Oh no, but they wouldn't allow death kill him.
Yeah.
But it probably would be stab him in an area where he can recover from, but will take him down for the battle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or Wolverine just collapse him under a building.
Yeah.
Yeah, because then you...
Logically speaking, as well.
survive it and then...
Yeah, logically speaking, I mean, popularity contest at this point, yes, Wolverine would win.
Wolverine.
I'd probably book Wolverine to win as well to a certain degree because, well, they're both anti-heroes here, but one's the mercenary, so you're going to be like, he's got to take the die.
Yeah.
But it's not going to hurt him.
It's not going to hurt, yeah, he ain't got his own comics.
And Wolverine's healing factors are superior to Deathstroke's at this point.
Yeah.
So you would have just kind of like, Deathstroke, I can't hack him. I can hack him. He keeps on coming.
Yeah.
And Wolverine probably just eventually gets to the point where we can stab him in the side.
Yeah,
and
he'll
put
get-
him down.
He'll take all those shots to get close in and then take him down. Yeah. Okay.
As for your Deadpool versus Deathstroke, though, at that time it'd be strange because I don't think enough people would have. I mean,
yeah.
known Deadpool for it to be more of a contest.
Yeah.
But then how known is Deathstroke as well?
I think at this point, I know there was a series. There was a point in the 90s where he was a hero.
Deathstroke.
Yeah.
All right.
Which is weird.
Yep.
So I don't know. He might have won plus because he was in the Titans a lot. So yeah, I think he won.
Yeah.
Popularity wise, yeah.
Okay, so what do you want me to say the next battle?
Yeah, you go.
Okay, so I would have had Superman versus Thor or Silver Surfer. Power set wise, it makes more sense.
Yeah.
I probably would have chose Thor because then I could use Silver Surfer later on to fight Captain Marvel.
Which Captain Marvel?
Captain Marvel, Shazam, Captain Marvel.
Okay.
But yeah, I think like we were saying, the one with the Hulk, it's about who's stronger, not necessarily who's a better matchup.
Yeah.
Superman's going to win against whoever, regardless.
Yeah,
popularity,
whoever it is, yeah.
But Thor would have made more sense power-wise against him.
Ooh.
Especially if you're saying that's Guardian magic and whatnot.
Yeah.
They did do that later on in Justice League Avengers, but
Yeah.
we're just going to keep it around 986 area.
Yeah.
What's your next matchup you think they should have had all?
Power Girl versus She-Hulk.
I think now I personally think that might be an issue of the similar thing with the Hulk and Superman.
Yeah, good.
Because
Okay, good
it's
point,
power set and whatnot. But Power Girl's abilities aren't as ludicrously stupid as Superman.
Yeah, that's the reason why.
So you could have that and it'd work more in the context.
Yeah.
That's a tricky one though, because how well known and popular would you say it would have kind of gone each way, or
That one I think would have been a 50-50, you know, because
yeah,
I know
how well known is all these people?
Yeah,
right?
because I know She-Hulk was at this point at times already been on she was in the Avengers at some point,
Yeah.
and she was part of Fantastic Four, so I think she would have a bit more popularity than
Yeah.
Power Girl. Because I remember this time they messed up Power Girl so much.
Atlantic origins. And
Yeah,
whatnot.
all the
Okay. Yeah.
weird
It's true.
shenanigans.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true. So that'd be tricky because it's like which era of power. If we're saying it's just after Zero Hour where she's an Atlantean,
Yeah.
then you might have to readjust her power sets.
Yeah.
Well, we'll have to have a look into
Yeah.
that one. I'm not saying it'd be a bad matchup or that, but we'd have to look at exactly what quote unquote Atlantean power sets are
Yeah.
ability wise. Because if it's anything similar to Aquaman, then that's actually probably a closer matchup than we think.
Yeah, but I think she still is weird. I think she still had Kryptonian powers.
Yeah.
Because of some wish. It wasn't.
We had a baby, and then that baby never appeared again, or what? I don't know.
Alright, I'll swap Power Girl out with Maxima then.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
That makes more sense, yeah.
That makes more sense. Because do you have Wonder Woman in your list anywhere?
No.
All right, so if we're doing the equivalent,
Yeah.
right. So I had Wonder Woman, because it's similar power sets, Maxima. But let's just say what better matchup of a Wonder Woman would be.
Yeah.
I did have She-Hulk here, but she wasn't my main choice. I was
Yeah.
like Ms. Marvel / Warbird / Binary, depending on what she was called at the time.
Yeah.
Right? Or Rogue, because they're the similar power set. Like, you know, basically stole her powers, right?
Yeah.
But they're closer to the capabilities of Wonder Woman, and they can absorb hits.
Yeah.
Yeah, and logically speaking, it'd probably be Rogue because you don't like Captain Marvel. It's not going to win this popularity contest.
Yeah.
Who knows? Like at the time,
No.
not Captain Ms. Marvel.
Yeah.
Right, but Rogue being the X-Men.
Yeah.
And Wonder Woman popularity contest. Like
if that's, I would say, popularity wise,
Yeah.
Rogue would win then.
Yeah, but it actually makes logical sense if she forgoes her actual physical abilities because they're fighting and it's going on for a while. She's like, I'll just take off my glove and slap my hand on her head and absorb her life force, put her down, done.
Yeah.
And now I can accept that as a way that Wonder Woman would have lost.
Yeah, rather than lightning bolts.
Yeah. Yeah. Though it'd be trickier if you were writing it and Ms. Marvel was fighting Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Because how she just, and then she didn't have those like blast beam abilities that she has in the movies.
Didn't she?
I'm not sure.
Does, but I don't know at that
but
point.
Then why didn't Rogue absorb them?
I don't know. I think that's the creep part. I don't know. Something it makes no sense.
Okay.
It makes no sense.
Well, logically speaking, I'd probably put Rogue.
Yeah.
Aside from popularity, there's a way you can have Wonder Woman lose without being uproar.
Yeah. Yeah, forgot. Yeah, trying to think that. Why didn't Rogue take that power?
Yeah.
Alright. Yeah. Another one I had. Actually, no, it'd be your one because I've done the last one. So, yeah.
No, Wonder Woman versus.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Yeah, so I tagged on the end of yours. That's what it was.
I would have had Nova versus Kyle Rayner.
Now I can see why.
Yeah.
Because they're like the space cores and stuff like that.
Basic same character.
But I would say Green Lantern's power outclasses Nova's.
At that time,
yeah. I mean, you can make the construct. And Nova's got blasts and stuff like that, right? But Green Lantern's got a construct and it's much more flexibility. That's what I'm saying. It's hard for anyone to fight a Green Lantern from the Marvel universe because what you can do is just almost unlimited. And I want to say the best comparison, though it's not really, it might be Iceman because you can create things out of nowhere as well. But because it's ice based and it's not maneuverable, even he's the tricky one. Because he can make the ice ball, but he can't make the ice ball move.
Yeah.
He can just extend it or whatever it is. And the Green Lantern's probably going to crush ice because that's how things roll.
If it was now, like when Nova's become Nova Prime.
Oh yeah. Nova Prime versus what? Parallax? Ion.
Yeah.
I
reckon that's the same power levels. I would say.
Not so them yet. Ion.
No,
that'd be crazy.
I don't care about him. The real Ion. Yeah.
Okay, so that's a few years ago. Yep. I mean, at the time, I don't know so much.
Yeah.
Now, the Prime and Iron, yes.
That would work.
So, if I was swapping certain battles, by the way.
Yeah.
Lobo, logically speaking,
yeah,
I would have him either fight the Hulk, Professor Hulk at this point, the Thing, or Hercules. And it makes more sense for him to fight any of these guys than Wolverine.
Yeah, a lot more sense.
Hulk could probably win if there's a popularity contest and because he's stronger. But I think the headset of the Thing
he would win.
Versus Lobo would make good interactions. And only that, it's like, okay, they're two just rough guys going at it.
And
the power sets are more equal as well.
The banter back and forth is better, I reckon.
Yeah, but just for the sake of having the most popular character in it, I'd swap up the Hulk and then Professor Hulk's got this in hands because Lobo's not going to be able to. It'll be probably overwhelmed with just if you're two brutes fighting, the strong brute's basically going to win.
All right. I've got one which I've changed on the fly because I'm putting into that timeline.
Yeah.
I would have had Steel versus Iron Man.
Within the comics they had this. They had them appearing. Yeah. In a panel, but never fighting. No. It's like. Why? Yeah, why not? Why
it's
not?
An obvious one right there.
Yeah, but I think it might be an issue of. So Steel's not got beams at this point. It's like shooting rods and he's got a sledgehammer. Yeah. But Iron Man's much more flexible because he's got like pulse rays and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So from range, he could probably just like blast Steel away, and even if he comes close, Steel will probably have it in hand.
Or he swaps Steel out with Lex Luthor with his battle suit.
Yeah, but this is Heroes, so they want. But then again, they got Lobo in here, so they kind of like, and Quicksilver, depending on which way he's
even with Neymar, think back. No, he's
Yeah.
At this point, Neymar, no one knows whatever alliance he has, whatever.
He'll do what he wants.
He does what he wants when he wants.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, that matchup. Yeah, but it's just more of.
Yeah, if it's Lex, I reckon, because Lex, I like to believe that Lex has like his sort of Iron Man suits where they just.
It'd be more interesting, but then again, you put Lex and Doctor Doom, maybe that'd be more of a. If you're gonna do villain versus villain, you might as well just.
But Doctor Doom, I would say against anyone he'll win because he's Doctor Doom
Yeah.
and he has magic.
Oh no! At the time he didn't have magic.
And that wasn't until a bit later he got the magic,
Yeah,
didn't it? Yeah.
But I think it's just more of a. Yeah, Iron Man wasn't as popular. I don't think Iron Man would have been was as popular as he was then as he is now.
Yeah, it wasn't at all.
And how Steel was just created a couple of years before this. But we say that, but Superboy was also in this.
Yeah. So I reckon still, if it was a popularity thing, still would have won then because he's more in their people's eyes at that point. Because I think this is when the stupid Shaquille O'Neal Steel film came out as well. So he's in the zeitgeist. Everyone's like, oh yeah, we know who he is. Who is this man who's an iron? Yeah.
But not a physical iron that
Not
Iron
physical iron,
Steel.
which probably made him more like exciting back then.
Yeah, it's just an obvious one that they should have done, but they kind of didn't do.
Yeah.
Who knows why?
Yeah.
Okay, so the another one they did have listed down, but they never did. Black Canary and Black Widow. Like, come on.
Yeah, that makes
you've got a small picture right next to the
sense.
Steel and Iron Man picture.
Yeah. That one's a given as well. I don't understand why I didn't do that. That's just stupid.
So aside from the obvious ones that this. What do you have?
I've got a couple of random ones.
Yeah.
I've got. I would have Venom versus Martian Manhunter.
Venom versus Martian Manhunter. Okay, all right. I actually was listing here Martian Manhunter. I was like, okay, maybe Iron Man. Depending, like you can adjust the power sets for Iron Man to be capable of fighting someone like Martian Manhunter.
I don't know because I'll put Martian Manhunter like strength wise and ability wise as like on Superman's level.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying Iron Man. Logically, tech wise, using his tech, he could overcome certain things. It probably won't be to Martian Manhunter's level, but when you're comparing them ability wise, you're like, all right, who am I going to put this guy against this guy? And then but the most logical, Beta Ray Bill. Which would work, but then it's not logical because you already got Thor, and you'd be like, who's this other guy who's got the powers of Thor?
Yeah.
Why basically have two Thors in this Marvel vs DC match?
Or even if you had Martian Manhunter versus Vision as again basically the same character, except
that Vision's power set is just abilities are less than Martian Manhunter's, so they can phase and they're kind of like strong.
They both got beams.
Martian Manhunter's got like the telepathy
and the shapeshifting.
So he kind of like. That's why I'm saying Beta Ray Bill, but this would be one of them off-key matches where, like, even popularity contests, like, who knows who these characters are to a certain degree.
Yeah, still Venom, because like I said, we pick Venom because.
But then, like,
both aliens and both shapeshift.
But you did point out before, how can Venom fight Superman?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, and other reason why I sort of put together, they both have a weakness to fire.
I suppose.
Yeah. You just put them in a volcano, make them fight. So that's only.
And then, funny enough, if you're going to do that, Beta Ray Bill gets revived by lava or some. When he had this fight with Thor, when he was able to wield Mjolnir.
Yeah, and he got Stormbreaker.
Yeah, because he was first to revive when they fight in the lava. They fought in a volcano. Have you read that?
No,
okay. They fought in some sort of abandoned planet or whatever it was, near a volcano. And they, I think, I want to say it was a double knockout or something like that. Yeah. But Beta Ray Bill revived first because the lava, he has some affinity to lava, I think, or some such thing. Yeah, Martian Manhunter's got weakness to fire, so this will probably go Beta Ray Bill's way if that's the case.
Okay, I don't understand why he has. Okay.
I don't know. I'm trying to recall off the top of my head, but it might not be the.
Could be right. But someone has weird comic things like, why would somebody get powerful lava?
So you say okay. You said Steel and Iron Man, but I've got a note down here. This would make more sense, by the way. Cyborg, Vic Stone, and Iron Man.
Yeah.
But then again, who would it? at that time, as much as we know Vic Stone now because he's been put in the Justice League, back then he was with the Teen Titans.
Yeah, all Titans at that point. Yeah. And wait, at this point, I think he was gold as well. Yeah. He was a liquidy cyborg thing. Yeah, don't ask.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Don't ask. It was weird.
But logically speaking, you could have just paired them up. I think it's just an issue of how well known are these characters as well, depending.
I don't think he would have been.
Do you have I've got 2 more matchups and you got.
I got 2 more, but again, these are like sort of. Well, I got 3 more, but they're all like.
Yeah. We'll just
nowadays.
go through. We'll just go through.
All right. One I would have done if it was done now would be Miles versus Static.
Miles Morales.
Versus Static Shock.
Okay.
Static. Yeah.
Okay, I don't know enough about Static Shock to gauge, but I suppose you could. Well, I was just saying, it's 2 black kids fighting each other.
What? Again, it's going to sound really weird.
Fight.
It's like they are both basically the same character. Like 2 kids that are sort of nerdy, but then get powers and become like more confident from having powers and stuff like that. So like, if you want to go that far, and I'm gonna get flack for this probably. Yeah. They stole Miles from Static Shock.
Yeah, but then put it this way.
But they didn't do nothing with Static.
But Carl Rayner's basically powering Peter Parker, and Batman Beyond, Terry McGinnis is Batman Peter Parker. So yeah, depending on how you want to run things.
But I would say Carl Rayner's like he's more like I don't know, it's a side tangent, a mixture of Peter Parker and Jack Ryder, aka Nova, because they're both sort of.
No, Jack Ryder is the Creeper. You're thinking of the Creeper. You mean Richard Ryder, which is also Dick Ryder, which is implications never going to be used.
Yeah, even though he's just the copy of Spider-Man, but it's but
that wouldn't have happened at the time. So I mean, as interesting as that might be, go for one that you think would have happened at the time.
At the time. Ooh, don't really. Wouldn't be like one of the obvious one like Nightwing versus who was that big at that time? Can't think of it.
Daredevil probably would have been the most logical one.
That's too easy, really. Yeah.
Okay, so here I had Doctor Fate and Doctor Strange. That's just too obvious.
That's too obvious. Yeah.
But with their abilities, you're like, it's fair enough.
Yeah.
And the last one I have, because if you're gonna have Elektra in it, why not have her fight the Huntress?
Yeah, who was Helena
Bertinelli at the time. Yeah. Their abilities will be more comparable, and she's got bow and arrows, can range, so you can diversify what you need to do. Catwoman, I don't think would have been.
No, it makes
sense. The only thing, the logical thing would have been Catwoman and Black Cat, but then you just made a mirror match, and they're not. They're better played off the characters that they
interact with.
Like Spider-Man and Batman. They're not by themselves. They're kind of like a bit.
Yeah. Until recently, when they made like Black Cat more of a
mob boss.
Yeah, more of a 3D character rather than I'm just that girl that's in love with Spider-Man sort of thing.
With a low cut V-neck top catsuit. Okay, did you have a?
At the time, I think was this out at the time, or it might be a couple of years too early. Spider-Man 99 versus Batman Beyond. Because I'm pretty sure.
No, Batman Beyond is 1999. So it wasn't just 5 years before that.
Alright.
but people have done Spider-Man 2099 versus Batman Beyond.
Yeah.
But I personally think, physical ability wise, it's completely one sided.
Yeah.
Gadgets though, Terry might be able to pull the win out. No, but the suit does enhance the strength, but you got to remember how strong.
Yeah.
People, Miguel O'Hara or whatever Spider-Mans are. They just hold back a lot.
Yeah. Doesn't his suit have gadgets as well?
No, I think he's just got the web glider,
and I think he shoots off stuff from.
That's not from his suit. That's in his wrist.
Okay.
That's physically part of him.
Okay, because for some reason I thought he shot off like I want to say Spider-Rans.
No,
that's
wrong.
Okay, cool. The other ones have no relevance, to be fair.
Okay, right.
Yeah, because they're future. Actually, yeah, they would have been future because I think at this time, because I had the Titans versus the New Mutants, but I think at this time the New Mutants disbanded. So, yeah.
There was a Titans X-Men crossover way back in the.
Yeah. which people say is really good. I haven't read it yet.
Okay, I tell you what happens at one point. I mean, Darkseid there. I can't remember the exactities of it, but I'm not sure that the Phoenix Force does go into Cyclops. He does a mega optic blast and basically blasts in the shape of a phoenix at Darkseid.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's lost my attention already.
That's how it finishes.
Okay.
It's basically the X-Men and Titans in Apocalypse or somewhere like that.
Yeah.
I can't remember who. Yeah, and the Phoenix Force is the thing that drives the
story. Yeah.
Did you read? Speaking of the semis crossovers, did you read the Superman Spider-Man crossover?
No, but I have it. But I've never read it.
All right, because there's Superman and Spider-Man teaming up with Lex Luthor, teaming up against Lex Luthor and Doctor Octopus.
Mm.
But it's Superman; he could just take them both out by himself, really much.
Spider-Man's kind of
It's
redundant.
alright. It's a fun crossover, but it's just like the power set is just Superman. Just
Yeah, he could done it all by himself.
Yeah, exactly. The really odd mix was Hulk and Batman.
Yeah.
They had a Joker there and this character called the Shape of Worlds, and I'm like, right, I don't know about, but it was fun to see. Basically, Batman could never fight the Hulk.
Yeah.
But it was the way they was trying to survive
Yeah.
certain bits. I just remember the Hulk threw a car at him,
Yeah.
right? So Batman had to jump and arc his launch between the windows of the cars to break the windows so he could go through one side and come out the other side. And then he took down Hulk by gassing him.
Yeah.
And Hulk's like, oh yeah, I'm going to hold my breath. And then he just basically, Batman thrust kicks him right in the solar plexus so he breathes out.
Yeah.
And then he breathes in all the gas and then he gets I think a KO.
Yeah, okay, that's quite smart.
But you're hold a minute. Batman does not have the physical
Strength
ability
to do that? Yeah.
to actually launch a kick hard enough to make the Hulk, like bullets bounce off the guy.
Yeah, how?
Well, no, but to be fair, back then, I think Hulk got choked out by an anaconda at one point,
Okay.
and Iron Man defeated the Hulk at one point as well. And I think Iron Man it was like in the 60s slash 70s, so he did have his new armor, but not the suit.
Yeah.
Not the souped up tech he has.
Okay.
Yeah. It's the power creep between all the characters that you're thinking. I mean, to balance out Batman's abilities between how other people's abilities go up,
Yeah.
he's got to be relevant in certain other things.
Yeah. Like brains.
Yeah, exactly. And I could give it to him while he's still relevant in the Justice League, for example, while you got people that outclass him with so much power.
Yeah.
But I do have to say, okay, Captain America leads the Avengers.
Yeah. But he's the weakest member.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, weakest member.
But he's not the. Yeah. He like.
They accept him as leader. Okay, so in Justice League, Batman is not the leader, but he's the strategic general, right?
Yeah.
Superman's the leader. But Captain America's the clear leader in the Justice League, in the Avengers, and like, not to say he shouldn't be, because he should be, but there's no logical reason for him to be.
Yeah, he was in the Second World War, so yes.
Oh yeah, the symbol of the what the people love about the country.
Yeah.
It's fair enough. It's like that's what's carrying him, and he's charismatic and stuff like that. But just like not physical abilities, no character.
Yeah.
Thor could just go to him. Hold on a sec, but Thor is not going to argue with him for some reason.
Plus, if Thor led him, they all die because Thor's just in straight.
Well, I guess I mean logic-wise, you'd be going. Captain was leading because he knows the weaknesses and strengths of every single member, and he knows what to do.
Yeah.
Which is fair. But it's just a bit awkward because when there's somewhere fighting Asgard, Thor's leading all his troops, and then when Iron Man has a problem, he's leading War Machine and whatever. It's like, all right, so the leader is overall leader is Captain America, even though these guys lead their own things.
Yeah,
it's a bit strange, isn't it?
It's a bit strange. It's one of the things I said. It doesn't.
But you kind of just accept it.
Yeah. Just because it's been written that way so long.
exactly.
Yeah. Oh dear. But overall, what would we say about this?
What I'm going to say is that this storyline is contrived.
Yep.
And there's some matchups that are mirror matches.
Yeah. But pointless.
Yeah, and some of them are pointless, and some of them are like should be completely one-sided.
Yeah.
And popularity votes should not be leading what you choose, because things just go a bit AWOL.
Yeah, it's like
not AWOL, they go a bit wacky.
Like, it's one of these things. Like the whole idea on paper is great.
Yeah.
But like we were saying earlier before, each company wants to sort of make their character look good or can't do this or whatever. So you kind of trap yourself in a lose-lose situation
Yeah.
And it kind of takes away.
To be fair, they don't probably have they have a certain amount of pages.
Yeah.
And I know you got to get your battle out done quickly.
Yeah.
However, some of these probably deserve more time.
Yeah.
And some of these didn't deserve the time they got anyways.
Yeah. Like, just the whole, going back to the whole Quicksilver Flash fight.
Yeah.
Makes sense, but it was pointless because everyone really knows Flash is faster.
Yeah.
The fastest man alive.
Yeah. Wally West version as well.
Yeah. And this is before all the weird new shenanigans that the Flashes can do.
Yeah, and then Wonder Woman and Storm was Wonder Woman and Storm and Lobo versus Wolverine are the like the ones that stick out for the wrong reasons. In my mind. Let me just point out to you, by the way. So the grouping that was fighting Thanos at the end was Wonder Woman, Lobo, and Captain Marvel. Okay. And the grouping that was fighting Darkseid was Wolverine, Storm, and Thor. Now the only one that's useful in that battle is Thor.
Yeah.
While in the Thanos battle, I can believe all three of them can team up to take Thanos down because they've got the capabilities.
Yeah.
Storm and Wolverine though, well, you can't help. How are you gonna do anything to Thanos? You just like Thor's just carrying all of you.
Like, well, they find Thanos or Darkseid.
Sorry, Darkseid.
Yeah, because again, Darkseid's a god, so it's like why you can't really do.
Yeah.
Like,
but that's what I'm saying. It upsets the whole. The winners are a bit odd because when you compare and look at who they're fighting next to, like makes no sense.
Makes no sense.
You shouldn't do that battle.
Yeah, because like I get it. The X-Men are beating Apocalypse and stuff like that, but Apocalypse, as much as I love Apocalypse, he's no Darkseid.
Yeah.
A literal god.
Yeah, a literal new god.
Yeah. Okay. Well.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. That's this particular episode.
Yeah. I would say if you can find it, read it. Wouldn't recommend it, but yeah.
No. I mean, it may be one of the things that's kind of significant, but not really entertaining.
Yeah. If you read it back then, you might find it like amazing, but
I mean, let's just say we'll be doing good storylines and bad storylines, and this is one that goes in the
middle. I would say.
Oh, we just in the middle.
I'd say in the middle because it's entertaining to a certain extent, but for like the spectacle of it, but reading wise, I would say it's bad
because the popularity votes, the matchups that are kind of like a bit odd that they kind of tip it. I think it goes in the middle, but probably goes more towards the bad side.
Yeah.
If you're gonna put it on like a scale.
Yeah. I'll say.
But that's just because they I don't want to say the companies just chose who they had that was popular at the time.
Yeah.
Hoping that maybe they get more eyes on the product and get more votes, and it just didn't kind of make sense. But anyways, we will look at stuff equally.
Yeah.
No matter which side of the equation it falls on.
Yeah. Because there'd be some bad storylines that you would say are bad and I might like.
Yeah.
But,
and some of them enjoyably bad even as well.
But this...
Yeah. Okay.
That's us signing off for this episode. If there's any fights that you think they should have done, let us know. Drop us a message, whatever. And this is me signing off, Kyle Charles, my host.
CY Chan.
And thanks for taking a trip around the multiverse. Bye.